every time I go back to Flint, I mean, I've been there so many times, but it's like you learn something more horrifying. So the last time I was there, I wasn't aware that there's this huge epidemic of teen suicides in Flint. And those are teens that were children, 10 years, children when this happened. So to your point, their brains were basically scrambled. And but I mean, if you're a teen that hasn't been water poisoned, it could be pretty shitty. We all know. I mean, everybody's got their stuff when they're a teenager. I had depression, but add on top of that lead. I mean, the research shows when you correlate high lead exposure, whether it's water, paint chips, soil, it correlates to increased crime or high crime areas. But then folks get the stereotype, particularly black teenagers, black young adults. Oh, they're rowdy, or Fox News with their Chicago stereotypes. Well, Chicago also has a massive lead problem too in its water that hasn't gotten attention. So the point is impulse control. And I have met both children and adults in Flint, even off camera when I'm talking to them. I mean, they could go from 0 to 180 like that. And I'm
Wow.
not faulting them. They have behavioral problems because their brains have been affected. So the in Flint, you got teenagers killing themselves who were poisoned as children. You also have a problem, you know, Flint, there's cops are routinely pulling people over. There's high crime, but when your brain has been affected, you cannot respond to multiple directives from a police officer at once. You could only respond really to one directive because you can't process multiple things at once. So when a cop's telling you, put your hand on the wheel, but he's also telling you something else, there's a delay in response, and the police in Flint are not kind of giving the benefit of the doubt to those children or those teenagers or those young adults. So there's multiple problems. You also had occurrences. I interviewed a mother in Flint last time I was there. Her 20-something-year-old, committed murder. He did. I mean, he shot someone dead, but the court would not even hear the extenuating circumstances that he was a lead poisoned Flint child. Not 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 to get him off completely, but at least at an attempt to reduce his sentence or some leniency. Court wouldn't hear it. And that's not just in Flint, that's been an issue elsewhere too. So as you point out, obviously the physical is what people focus on, the cancer, the illness, but mentally, from high crime to depression, anxiety, PTSD is through the roof in Flint from all of this because it's not in the past for them. They're still living it. So honestly, a lot of these folks, I hate to say it, but it's almost like dying while living, if that makes sense.